How's it going? Back again for video log 3. Um, I interviewed Ramzi. He's my friend, so he just came over to my apartment because he lives next door. And I asked him if I could talk about his learning strategies. Um, First off, he is a really smart kid in general. Um, his major is international relations and economics, so he's a double major. Um, and he's also a part of Model UN. So he's already traveled. He's been to Canada and he went to Boston. Ironic. For meetings. So, and he loves that. He's from, like I said, he's from Lebanon. He just loves international policy and all that. So when I sat him down, the first thing I asked him, of course, is, what is your hardest course? And he said international political economy. So, I mean, that kind of threw me for a loop because he loves that stuff, and it's both of his majors combined, but, I mean, that sounds pretty difficult anyway, so I asked him why, of course, and he said something pretty interesting that I wrote down. He said it's an unorthodox way of looking at the current economic structure through the political lens. So, yeah, like I said, he's just a smart kid. He just sees things differently, even though we're just having a friendly conversation. And so I asked him, how do you deal with that? Because that seems like such an unorthodox problem. No other words to describe it. Instead of just saying, this class is hard because there's a lot of reading and words I don't understand or something like that. It's the whole way he sees it is different. So he said he usually goes to the library for hours on end. He'll set a day and he'll just go for like 5 hours at least. And he said he likes to reread the text, but think about it in different ways. And he also looks up videos and stuff from politicians and also just like advisors and stuff, just to see if they think about it in a different way or a way that he would understand more. So he just tries to think about it in a different way. And so I asked him how is he doing in that class in general, and he said he has a 3.5. So I asked him, do you know why you're doing so well? Like, I don't know, you said it's so unorthodox and you spend so much time in the library, but you still have a 3.5. And he said he still has that mindset. He still thinks in the way of an international economist, and he wants to do that for his life. So he's really interested in the topic, but it's just this type of subject is confusing for him. So he still gets it, but he just needs to take the time to go over things and really get it in his brain in a way that will be successful for him on an exam, but also a way that it will register in his head. So, I mean, in my own opinion, they're pretty effective. He has a 3.5, and he just told me that he's always thought about it that way. That's why he's so interested in international relations and stuff. In terms of attribution, I asked him what was his hardest class, and he gave me a weird answer, just because I've taken the class, and it was, simple, easy, just whatever, and it was WRA 125. And so I said, like, come on, man, that's not hard. I mean, maybe it is, but you tell me. I know he's very smart, and when I took that same class, I thought it was very easy. And he's a great writer, so he's a better writer than me. So I asked him, why is it so hard for you? Like, why was that hard for you? You already took it. And he said he hates talking about race. And that's what the class was on. So it wasn't a problem with how difficult the class was, but it was how just the model of the class in general, just he didn't like it. So that's what made it difficult for him, because when he's writing papers on race and all that stuff, he just felt uncomfortable. He did well. He got a 4.0, so it wasn't any problem for him to succeed, but he just felt uncomfortable. I asked him why, and he didn't really have an answer. He just kind of said, like, he's in international relations, and that's what he wants. He is all about connecting with people. He's probably the friendliest kid I've ever met. So, in general, just talking about race just kind of, it freaks him out. Not freaks him out, just doesn't like it. So he didn't really enjoy the course, but he did well, and he said he put a lot of effort into his writing. Because, personally, to him, he didn't want to come off in a weird, negative way in any of his papers, even though he's not being judged on that. So he put effort in. He took extra time writing his papers, he said, but it was never really like a harsh problem for him. In terms of persistence, I would go back and say that his last class, not the WRA class, but I think his persistence on my end, just judging him, is through the roof, considering he does. Maybe it's just me, but I can't stay in the library for more than 3 hours. I have to just go do something and then go back, and he definitely persists through whatever he has to get through. He's in Model UN. He wants to really make a difference in the world. So I think his persistence is without question. Just he has it. I asked him if he enjoyed going through all this stuff and dealing with the library 5-6 hours a day when he goes, 7 hours a day, and how he had to deal with the WRA class. And he said he likes dealing with specifically like the international political economy class and his classes for his major in general. He likes going through those challenges because he feels like that's what is going to make a difference when he gets out of college and can actually, make a serious impact on the world, depending on what he does. So he does enjoy the challenges, and WRA wasn't really a challenge. He just kind of had to get over his uncomfortability. But yeah, he says he enjoys it, and he likes working hard, and he likes going to the library for that amount of time, which I called him crazy for, and he laughed, but he just would rather do that and make an effect on the world later in time than not put the effort in. So I thought it was a very worth it interview, and I think it opened my eyes a lot, and he's really he's interesting in a great way, and I really think he's going to end up changing the world at some point. So this experience was great. All right, bye.